The current energy that I'm noticing so many people sitting with is this energy of, uh-oh, I'm scared or I'm being attacked. So big fears, big blockages. Those are the two things that I'm seeing coming up to the surface for a lot of people right now. Big fear, big blockage. And then what people do when they recognize, uh-oh, I'm in this discomfort, they then try to employ tactics of distraction, tactics of analysis. And why is analysis a tool of distraction? Because analysis leads to paralysis. Analysis creates a space for people to hide out in the mental realm. What is the false matrix? It's a mental prison. How do you get out of the false matrix? You get out of that deliberation and the stagnation that's caused by, oh God, I sound like a poet now, contemplation. It is imperative that you bring yourself into a place where you have the power to dissolve fears and blockages. So it's beautiful to understand, okay, so this is the current energy. It is. It's heaps of bumping up against a brick wall. But the beautiful thing, or the interesting thing about the brick wall that you're going to be bumping up against is that it's invisible. So it's like if there's a brick wall, you bump into it, it's like, okay, that's great. I can see what this is. But when you're bumping into an energetic brick wall, it's invisible. That means it's frustrating. So for a lot of people, that's where they are right now. And the frustration is, but why can't I move forward? Why can't I progress beyond where I am? Why do I feel so held back? Why do I feel so stifled? Why do I feel like somebody's pushing against me? It's not. It's you pushing against that invisible wall, so to speak. So we're going to talk about how it is that you can dissolve density, how it is that you can work through fear. Now, one of the things that I really encourage people to do is to just get very brave and courageous and to face themselves, not to fight. If ever you see yourself in resistance to a thought, a belief, a situation, a person, then employ this method. Say, okay, so right now what I'm doing is I am having an internal war on some level. I'm fighting against this at some level. I'm in resistance at some level. So what if I bring the counterbalance of just facing instead of fighting, facing something? This is the remedy for spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing is where you don't even stop to fight. Spiritual bypassing is where you just ignore something away. And you go, oh no, there's no blockage. What is Kerry talking about? Blockage? She's so negative. There's no blockage. There's no fear. It's all pretty. It's all tra-la-la. And then unfortunately, people confuse that for positivity and spirituality. And it's none of those things. It's running away. So we have distraction and avoidance and resistance at so many different levels. Bring yourself back to this one simple thing, which is, okay, I have to face where I am. So that's another way of me saying feel. So you could therefore say, okay, I have to feel where I am. And there's the thing that people get confused about, because this is when people say, but I have, Kerry, I've felt this thing, this pain, this torment, this anxiety, this depression, this stuckness, this what I have felt it inside out and upside down, day in and day out. And it's only growing and it's not moving and it's not shifting. And I know that it should, but it really isn't. So what's going wrong? Okay. This is a powerful question, and I'm going to give you a powerful teaching to match it. We forgot how to feel. We feel with a narrator in the brain, and we feel with bias, which means we feel and experience with judgment. Here's an example. Let's just say that somebody stole something from me. And now, let's just say a spiritual teacher came to me and said, okay, Kerry, it's very simple, my darling. What you've got to do is, well, just feel it. Ta-da. Feel it to heal it. Da, da, da. So then I go, okay, somebody stole this thing from me. Now I've got to feel it to heal it. And then I'm going to do that. And now I've got bias. So I'm going to go, damn it. Oof, can't believe that they stole from me. It just feels so terrible that they did this. And how could they do this? And why would they do this? And I can't stand that they've done this. What I'm doing now is I've got a narrator feeling with me. That narrator is my brain. When my brain's involved, I'm not feeling. I'm trying to think my way through this. And when I think my way through things, do you know where I am? I'm caught in the mental realm. I'm caught in the mental prison. And that's why I can't discharge. And that's why I can't dissolve. And that's why I can't move on. And that's where most of the spiritual community is stuck right there. And I'm going to do a video about that even in greater detail for you, because it's a big one. That spiritual trap, which is the overthinking, overanalyzing, is the same as the false matrix trap of being stuck in the mental realm. So how do you get out of it then? Is it as simple as me saying to you, get out of your brain, feel without your brain's input? Because that's what it is. To feel without judgments and feel without bias doesn't work that way. I can't say to my brain, go away. I can't say to my thoughts, stop thinking. What I can do is I can employ this astounding method. It's an alchemical mastery. In other words, this is the mastery of the alchemist. And this is what I teach my online community, the Plasma Light Tribe. And I'd like to give you guys just a crash course. And maybe I'm going to give you too much of a crash course. In other words, maybe I'm going to cram too much into too short of a space and not give you enough time to really absorb the depth and the intricacies of what I'm teaching. Because what I'm sharing with you, by the way, if you hear a buzzing in the background, that's somebody at my gate right now. Somebody else will get it. I'm here with you, okay? So don't be distracted. There is this tendency for us to really try to look for answers with the brain. And so we try to kind of almost make things very linear and very logical. So I want to just set this as the foundation, the cornerstone of what I'm giving you. And that is what I'm going to share with you requires mastery. It's so simple. It's exceedingly simple, but that does not mean it's easy. It requires mastery. There are people who've been working with me in the Plasma Light Tribe, which is my online teaching space, since the inception, since the very first call, which is, I think, 4 years ago. And that's not because they're slow learners. That's because they're devoted learners. That's because they understand the power of mastering this specific element called, drum roll everyone, sacred neutrality. It's so powerful a space that I devoted a section of my membership community to showing, not telling, not explaining to people what sacred neutrality is, but just bringing them into an online container. In other words, an energy field. And that energy field is called the 0 point zone. So people will come into the community, it's just a click of a button, click, 0 point zone. Okay, now what? They close their eyes and they feel themselves entering literally a shifted energy field. Sacred neutrality is that powerful that it requires immersion into it. It requires the experience of connecting to it and feeling yourself inside of it. Now, I can explain the dynamics behind it, and there are pretty amazing dynamics. But I don't want to lose you guys. I don't want to make this sound more complicated than it is. I want to keep giving you the truly, truly simplified. Even if it's going to sound simplified, I'd rather go with that. The 0 point zone is the name of this online energetic room that I invite people into. And I'm going to invite you right now into that field. We can go through all the science and we can go through all of the mental arithmetic. Or I could just create this pause and invite you to soften your way into it, which is a very different approach to how we normally look for things. We normally look for things from the mental realm. We want to understand them. There's a softening that takes place at the energetic level, almost like a surrendering at an energetic level. Specific though, it's a specific surrendering. Surrendering to the highest state of you. The 0 point zone is this exquisite God frequency that all matter and all creation originates from and as. In other words, before you were born and formed, before anything that you look at came into being, it originated as and from this exquisite 0 point zone. Now, it's true to say that we've lived in a false matrix and all of creation has been run through a scrambling frequency. That's essentially what it is. It scrambles the divinity of creation, and it distorts and creates multiple illusions and programs and confusions that bind the participant of the false matrix program into the false matrix itself. But the moment you enter into the 0 point zone, you're entering into a stillness and a connection and a timelessness. And what you're going to feel in that space is not apathy. A lot of people hear, well, neutrality. Kerry talks about working with neutrality. So she probably means that we should just not care. That's maybe what neutrality is. It's absolutely not the case. Sacred neutrality is a divine stillness. It's the opposite of judgment. See, I can have a perspective. So I could say, for example, this reality really aligns to me and that reality doesn't. That's a perspective. But a judgment is where I say that reality sucks and that reality is beautiful. And I only want this one and I don't want that one. When we bring, that's the bias. When we bring judgment and bias in, we attach to those thoughts and beliefs, and then we create hardship, difficulty, and blockages with those things. The moment we can't resolve something mentally, and we say, well, this is just beyond my capacity and capability, we shove it down. We suppress it somewhere. And that big blockage that we're dealing with, that big blockage, that insurmountable feeling in life is brewing because so much has gotten jammed into and crammed into the subconscious that it now is bigger than the conscious mind. That's why we feel this insurmountable wall that we can't get through. It's not insurmountable at all. It's very easily dissolved. You do have to feel it, but you have to feel it to dissolve it with sacred neutrality. I don't expect that you're supposed to get this instantaneously and master it perfectly now. I would love just to have opened the door a crack, just to have opened the door and given you a glimmer, given you a taste, given you a ray of light. Because I know the power of light. I know what it does. It seeps into your world. It seeps into your reality when it's based on pure truth, God's truth. Truth is an irrepressible force. It's the most powerful, abundant light that there is, and it grows and it amplifies. And that's my hope today, is to bring that ray of light to you that shows you, oh wait, there is a way, this is possible. Yes, you absolutely can come and join the Plasma Light Tribe if and only if you feel called to do so. If you feel called to work at this level, then that's for you. Some people want to work in private consultation, more kind of personal and one-on-one. Then you go to my website and you book a session with one of my amazing consultants who I specifically trained to hold this exquisite frequency for you. This is what humanity forgot. We forgot how to feel. We forgot that to feel. We must come into this discharge space, this sacred neutrality, which neutralizes everything that we hold attachment to. Even if that attachment is of pain, of trauma, of negativity, we're in bondage to that which we don't want to be bonded to. And the only way that we dissolve that glue, so to speak, is through sacred neutrality. There it is. Just in that little pause, just in this little gap, just in this little moment, there's a higher essence and there's a higher presence, which is you. That's the beauty of working in this manner. You're not working with my energy. You're working with yours. I'm simply showing you, I'm simply directing you. Oh, but look over there. Oh, but look at what's possible. Oh, but look at your wisdom. There's the key. And then you use the key to open your door. So I recently recorded a video, and it was a really out there video. Like I put myself out there. It was so hard to record, you guys. I felt the whole time that I was recording this, Oh, like I wanted to burst into tears. In fact, I did. After I'd finished recording, I actually sat and wept for quite a while because it was such a personal video. The video that I put up was about my life story, because so many people ask, how do you know what you know? And I've shared a little bit before, but I suppose it's hard, sharing that much vulnerability in one short video. But I did that recently, so if you want to go watch that video, it's up here. I'm going to link it for you. It's called Multiple NDEs, meaning near-death experiences, where I speak about how those amazing experiences led me beyond the veil, beyond the false matrix, into a world that I'm sharing with you in this video and will always continue to share with you. I hold you in so much love from my heart all the way to yours. Speak to you really soon. Bye-bye for now.